Steve Gamache here for Chef Knives to Go with another quick look product review. And what we have this time is the Tojiro DP VG10 Petty 135mm 3 rivet knife. They've got some different versions of this on the site, so I've got the item number here to differentiate that from other versions. This knife is also available as part of a 3-knife set, which would make a great gift or presentation for somebody, especially somebody going into being a pro kitchen. These would be a nice set for a pro kitchen for somebody starting out. So this knife is core steel is VG10 full stainless steel. Tojiro really knows VG10. They do a lot of knives with it, so they know how to do it and do it well. And heat treat on this is about 60 Rockwell, and it's got a soft stainless cladding on either side of that core steel for a 3-layer construction. Weight, as you might guess, is going to be light, 69 grams, about 2.4 ounces on this particular knife. These should be pretty similar from knife to knife on the dimensions and such. Edge length is about 137 from the tip to the back, about 5.4 inches, and the overall length is about 9.5 inches, 240 millimeters. Fairly thin. All these knives are pretty thin. Got about 1.7 millimeters at the back and about 1.5 or so in the middle, and then it doesn't really have much of a distal taper where it just kind of continuously thins the spine, but with the grind, let's get our camera going here, they get pretty thin at the tip and they get pretty thin at the edge. So these are quite good performers, more than you might think. I've been very impressed with the performance of these. Blade height, not very tall. This is not a knife you're going to use as like a mini Gyuto, because you can see you don't have really clearance on the cutting board there. One trick you can do though when I grab my cutting board is you can, actually if you don't have ground clearance for that, you can work, if your cutting board's a little higher, just work right at the edge of the cutting board so you can have your fingers off of that. Or if you're using a real thin cutting board, you could work right at the edge of your countertop and then have your hand off the edge. Of course, food has a tendency to work its way on the floor more that way, but whatever you want to do. Handles are basic black Packawood stabilized wood product, nice fit and finish on the handle. You got 3 stainless rivets. This is a partial tang construction, so which means it'll lighten up that handle a little bit to help the balance point. And the balance point, as you might guess, is going to be pretty far back here because it's a small blade. So there's your balance point, about right there. You can definitely pinch this. You can do some different stuff with it. Got to be a little careful with the pinch grip traditional here, because you get that heel right there. The chin of the knife is pretty much right there, so you kind of have to be careful. This might be one you hold a little bit more back here, or do something like that with it if you're cutting, depending on what you're trying to do. But you could catch your finger pretty easy right there. Just get used to the knife. You have to kind of learn a knife and where the edge is. On this one, you'll have to pay attention more closely to that heel right there. Some people might, when they sharpen this, want to possibly take an edge off that chin there, just a touch, maybe to avoid getting cut if you want to do it that way. So that's up to you how you want to handle that. Fit and finish on these is done well. Good basic consistent fit and finish. This is a sandblasted kind of faux blade road here. You got your vertically finished machine finished blade. You've got etched in kanji and markings there on the right side. Here's the left side of the blade. And then they've cleaned up the spine just a little bit on the corners. The choil could probably be a little bit cleaner. It's a little sharp on the edges of the choil. I'm kind of picky about that. Some people are, some people are not. A little strip of sandpaper there in a shoe shine fashion on the back would clean that up pretty quick. Out of the box edge, I'll give it 5, 6 out of 10. These are usually pretty sharp out of the box and should do well for you. They'll get sharper, but it's a nice serviceable edge out of the box until you're ready to sharpen it. Here is the cutting board profile. This is quite versatile. It's kind of a mini Gyuto shape, although it's not quite as tall as far as a petty knife goes, but you can see pretty versatile profile here. Rocking, push-pull cutting, glide cutting, chopping. So pretty versatile. So this is just kind of a nice small knife for lots of utility tasks, and great value, nice steel, thin, cuts well. Again, you can get this as part of a 3-knife package, and this could make a really nice set for somebody starting out in culinary or going to culinary school, or starting out in working in culinary, and you want to get them a inexpensive set that is going to perform well and sharpen easily. And so these do a nice job over some of the other really cheap plastic handled knives that you see out there. So this is the Tojiro DP VG10 Petty, a 135mm 3 rivet knife from Chef Knives To Go.